What is going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode. Now, if you're asking yourself, where's the post-game reaction, Mike? I didn't do one. I didn't do one at all. I wanted to go ahead and save it for this live stream. Obviously, I don't know where to start from here, but big shout out to the people that are currently here in the chats. If you guys don't know, the Arizona Cardinals now fall to 2-10 on the season and get absolutely obliterated by the Los Angeles Rams. And let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, let's call it like it is. This Los Angeles Rams team has had this Arizona Cardinals number since 2019. Since 2019, the Arizona Cardinals are 2 wins and 8 losses against this Los Angeles Rams team. And if you want to include that terrible playoff appearance that we were in, the Arizona Cardinals are 2-9 if you want to go ahead and include that playoff game. But if you don't, no worries. We're 2-8. So the Rams have had our number for quite some time. During the whole Sean McVay era, he's owned us. And I hate to admit it, but he has absolutely owned us. Even with Kyler Murray, he's owned us. And it really, really sucks because this was the straw that broke the camel's back for me, because I don't know if you guys have been rocking with me for obviously the entirety of the season, but I told you how crucial this season is, not only for Kyler Murray, but for the future of this Arizona Cardinal organization. And that's what we're going to be diving into today, right? We're going to be talking about Kyler Murray. We're going to be talking about the future, and I want to get your guys' thoughts as well. So we will be opening up the phone lines a little later on in the stream, maybe the last 10 minutes of the stream. So definitely go ahead and make sure you stay tuned if you want to go ahead and take a look in or take a listen into what other members of the Bird Gang, what other Cardinal fans have to say out there. So definitely stay tuned for that. But ladies and gentlemen, let's dive into this. We got a lot to talk about. Now, first, let's do our quick due diligence, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys haven't done so already, do me an absolute huge favor. Smack the like button on this video. It helps out me. It helps out the algorithm. It helps out that lonely Cardinal fan out there that doesn't know this channel exists. Go ahead and smack up that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Do it now. And a huge shout out to my sponsor of this video, Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code AZSF today and get your first initial deposit matched up to $100. If you want to go ahead and play daily fantasy, this is the place to go. Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code AZSF for your initial 100% or $100 deposit match with your initial deposit. So let's dive into it, everybody. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We are already starting off with 74 people in the chat, so I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let's talk about this absolutely abysmal game for the Arizona Cardinals. And then let's first start off by saying the Los Angeles Rams were a 4-6 team before we played them. So it's not like the Los Angeles Rams were like a fantastic team, right? It's not like they were a team that were like so hard to beat, right? They were a 4-6 team. Now, leave it to the Arizona Cardinals for allowing Tyler Higbee to go off, right? I think he only scored, like one other touchdown throughout the entirety of the season. This game, he had 2 touchdowns. We had Kyren Williams again go off on the Arizona Cardinals. He was 16 carries, 143 yards. Yes, you heard this well, ladies and gentlemen. Kyren Williams, 16 carries, 143 yards. And you got to give a shout out to Matthew Stafford, 25 of 33, 229 yards, 4 touchdowns to 1 pick. My goodness, everybody went off other than Arizona Cardinal players. It almost kind of feels like. Now, the guy that was leading the receiving core, which was a surprise to me, I thought it was going to be either Puka Nacua or Cooper Kupp, but no, that's not the case. It was actually Tutu Atwell. So big shout out to those guys. But the Arizona Cardinals, man, the Arizona Cardinals absolutely laid a stinker today. A stinker today. Kyler Murray ended off this game with 27 of 45, 256 yards, 1 touchdown. Now, James Conner only carried the ball 6 times. Does anybody else have a problem with James Conner only carrying the ball 6 times? Let me know here in the chat here, ladies and gentlemen, because truthfully, that right there is sickening. James Conner is the heart and soul of this offense and the heart and soul of that running back core, and this man only tote the rock 6 times throughout the entirety of the game? Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Now, obviously, Marquise Hollywood-Brown, our number 1 wide receiver, had 6 receptions, 88 yards, but let's call it like it is, ladies and gentlemen. There was maybe the last 2 or maybe even last 3 drives that Kyler Murray probably shouldn't have been in this game. I don't know why Jonathan Gannon allowed Kyler Murray to finish off this game. I truly don't. It was literally garbage time, which is where that touchdown came from. I'm not going to acknowledge that throwing touchdown to Greg Dortch where he ends up doing this, where he ends up doing this. Are you kidding me? What are we celebrating? What are we celebrating? Greg Dortch? What are you doing? What? Look at the scoreboard. What? What are you celebrating? Now, I'm not one to make fun of anybody's size, but that right there is absolutely disrespectful, and I don't get why he even did that. This was a garbage time touchdown, and this right here was absolutely not necessary. Look at the scoreboard and come back around. That's all I wanted. I don't want to see no guys celebrate. What the heck is going on? What? Regardless, that touchdown was a garbage touchdown. Now, this game was kind of similar to last game where the Arizona Cardinals started off hot, right? Against the Texans, where we got a touchdown in the very first play or in the very first drive. Same thing happened in this game where Kyler Murray took the ball and ran for a touchdown. And you're like, okay, let's go. This offense might do something good. Ladies and gentlemen, what is happening after that first drive for the Arizona Cardinals? Because the question was asked to Jonathan Gannon, when the Arizona Cardinals are running the ball under center, we seem to have more success. Why are we going away from Kyler Murray being under center and primarily having him in shotgun? Jonathan Gannon has come out and said that it's basically determining on the flow of the game, right? Now, he used that same excuse for obviously James Conner only toting the rock 6 times, but it was all due to the flow of the game. The Arizona Cardinals absolutely got demolished this game. They did. And if you look at the scoreboard and say, well, they only lost by 3 scores. No, that last touchdown shouldn't even exist in your eyes. We got absolutely obliterated in this game. And if they wanted to do more, they could have. The Rams could have put salt in the wound of the Arizona Cardinal fans. Because guess what, Cardinal fans? The Cardinals are 2-8 against these Los Angeles Rams. 2-8. Including that playoff game, we're 2-9. I don't know how Cardinal fans are even happy or okay with this, right? I digress. That's the minimal part of the problems. That's the minimal part of the problem. Let's talk about the elephant in the room here. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Because let's call it like it is, ladies and gentlemen. This year, when Kyler Murray has come back, was supposed to be evaluation period for the Arizona Cardinals to Kyler and to Kyler to the Arizona Cardinals. This is the evaluation period. I don't know why everybody and their mom has it in their mind that because we're sitting at the second overall pick in the NFL draft, people are now starting to say, Marvin Harrison Jr., you are an Arizona Cardinal. Okay, I would take it in a heartbeat. I like Marvin Harrison Jr., one of the best wide receivers that we've seen in quite some time. But we can't ignore the fact that the elephant in the room is that the Arizona Cardinals are now 1-2 with Kyler Murray coming back. We can't ignore that. We can't ignore the fact that Kyler Murray did not look good in this game. We can't ignore that. Ian Rappaport came out before Kyler Murray came back, and he said this very specifically. This is an evaluation time. Why people in their mind thinks that the Cardinals won't even consider a quarterback is beyond me. Is beyond me. The Arizona Cardinals right now are sitting at the second overall spot in the NFL draft with their very own pick. The second overall spot in the NFL draft with their very first pick. We are now 2-10 on the season. 2-10. 2-10. And with the Houston's pick, because Houston lost today, so thankfully for that, Houston is now sitting at the 17th overall spot in the NFL draft. So we got 2 picks in the first round. We got the 2nd and the 17th this week. After this game, we got the Steelers. After that game, we have the 49ers. After the 49ers, you have the Bears. Out of those 3 games, I see one winnable game, and that's the Bears. But that's even if Kyler Murray plays. Did you guys not see that video where Kyler Murray was limping off the field? Now, obviously, Jonathan Gannon didn't seem like it was a big issue when he was talking post-game, right? It didn't seem like a big thing, but we're going to wait for Monday. We're going to wait for Tuesday. We're going to wait for Wednesday. And I almost promise you, Kyler Murray will be on the injury report. I almost promise you, Kyler Murray most likely will be on the injury report. Now, is he going to miss the next game? We don't know, right? That's going to be up in the air. But why, oh why did Jonathan Gannon allow Kyler Murray to play in those last 1 or 2 or 3 pointless drives for the Arizona Cardinals? I know why. To pad the stats, to make this beatdown not look as bad as it was. That's why he allowed Kyler Murray to come back here. Now, obviously, Kyler Murray wanted to continue to play, right? But if you're a head coach, you got to put your big boy pants on. You got to put your coach pants on and say, Kyler Murray, this might not be a good idea for you to come out here and risk injury because we still need you for the last 5 games of the season. And the fact that you're limping off the field, it's not a good look. I don't know why Jonathan Gannon allowed him. I truly don't. I truly don't. But now we got questions. We got more questions than we do got answers. Marvin Harrison Jr., I agree with a lot of people. I want him as much as anybody else wants Marvin Harrison Jr. But we can't ignore the fact that Kyler Murray has not looked great. Has not even looked good. Houston, short of that first drive, struggled. In this game versus the Rams, short of that first drive, struggled. I think we got to call it like it is, right? Exactly like we did to Josh Dobbs, we're going to do the exact same thing here with Kyler Murray. The excuses are over. The excuses are over. You're a $230 million quarterback, paid quarterback. Your job is to win games. Your job is to elevate the people around you so you can win games. CJ Stroud, anybody? CJ Stroud is doing a fantastic year and having a fantastic season for his respectable team, the Texans. Kyler Murray so far has not done that in these 3 games. Now, I get it, 3 games, right? It's not the rest of the season. We got 5 games left, right? But the season doesn't get easier. It doesn't. We got the Steelers, which is not at home. It's not the cushy State Farm Stadium where we can control the weather. No. It's going to be in Pittsburgh. It's going to be in Pittsburgh. After Pittsburgh, we got the 49ers. After the 49ers, we got the Bears. But it's not at cushy State Farm Stadium. It's at Chicago in December. So this loss is on everybody. Everybody gets a fair share. But I want to make sure that I'm very, very clear here. that the Arizona Cardinals, the blame is also on Kyler. The blame is on the head coach, Jonathan Gannon. It's on Drew Petzing. It's on Nick Rallis. It's on Kyler Murray. It's that offensive line. It's that the weapons. We don't have weapons. It almost kind of seems like we don't have that number one wide receiver, which we've been talking about for quite some time now. This is on the whole offense that absolutely came out here in front of the crowd at State Farm Stadium and absolutely laid a goose egg. This was bad. This is the very first time that I'm actually starting to question, is Kyler Murray the guy? This is the first time right here. I was teeter-totting last game. I'm not going to lie to you. The excuses were rolling through my head after the Texans game. Okay, we're 1-1 when Kyler comes back. But this game right here, you're playing a Rams organization that had 4 wins. We're not talking about a Rams team that's going to the playoffs, that's having a magnificent season. No. We're not talking about a Rams organization that's like that. We're talking about a Rams organization that had 4 wins. We're talking about a Tyler Higbee that only had, 1 touchdown before this game? We're talking about a Kyren Williams that has come back from injury and absolutely destroyed us again. Now, that's not Kyler Murray's fault, but it is Kyler Murray's fault that he cannot get this offense going. Because you're forcing this defense that we've been talking about for weeks now, that they do not have the ability to play 60 minutes. We have a defense that can play a solid 20, 25 minutes, but if you're going to ask this defense to put this team on their shoulders, they can't do it. They can't do it. The excuses for Kyler, honestly, they're gone. This was a winnable game for the Arizona Cardinals before we stepped foot on the field. A very, 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 very winnable game. But we allowed the LA Rams to come into our home, State Farm Stadium, and beat us down with our franchise quarterback, if I haven't mentioned that before. For the people out there that are saying Marvin Harrison Jr., I agree. I like Marvin Harrison. I do. But you cannot be blind to the fact that the Arizona Cardinals will not even consider a quarterback. You're going to hear it. I promise you, you will be hearing it. Mock drafts will be coming out. You will see the Arizona Cardinals either getting Drake May or even Caleb Williams. There's no way the Arizona Cardinals are getting a wide receiver at the second overall. I just don't see it. Maybe if they trade back, probably. I don't know. I don't know what this Arizona Cardinal organization is going to do. But this is the worst case scenario that we're now finding ourselves in. Kyler Murray's coming back, and he needed to solidify himself, saying that this is my job. This is my job to lose. And Kyler Murray so far in 3 games has not looked like the Kyler Murray of old. He hasn't. The excuses need to stop. We need to start showing accountability for everybody, just like we did to Dobbs. Kyler Murray definitely still continues to deserve this criticism. I'm not sitting here and saying I'm ready to move off of Kyler Murray, but this is a extra notch, and I'm so close. If we play the Steelers and we get absolutely destroyed again, and then we got the 49ers and we get absolutely destroyed again, you can't sit here and tell me the Cardinals are just thinking Marvin Harrison Jr. And I see people in the chat here, I don't want Caleb. I don't want Drake May. Well, here's the situation that we're finding ourselves in right now, right? It doesn't matter if you don't want him. It doesn't matter. Because if Jonathan Gannon or Monty Ossenfort continue, if they continue on, obviously, I think Monty has a longer leash than a Jonathan Gannon does, obviously, right? Performance-wise, it's on JG, right? Building a roster is on Monty, right? So far, we've all said this. As long as we finish strong, I think a lot of Cardinal fans will be happy. We got 5 games left. Can we finish strong? I don't know. There's only one winnable game. One winnable game left in this game. That's the Bears. If we can't beat the Bears, This is bad. This is the worst case scenario because you have a quarterback that's getting paid top 10 quarterback money, and we still haven't seen him come back to form, right? Now let's call it like it is. Against the Atlanta Falcons, in that last drive, if we lost that game, nobody would be protecting Kyler at this very moment. But because we're 1-2, there's still some people out there that are protecting Kyler. Honestly, the excuses for me are done. The excuses for me are absolutely done. We really need to evaluate what is going to happen in 2024. I don't see Jonathan Gannon, if he continues to be our head coach, roll with Kyler Murray, or at least not think or sniff at the idea that Kyler Murray is going to remain the quarterback, right? Because his job is dependent on Kyler Murray's success. If Kyler Murray can't win, then JG doesn't look good, right? They go hand in hand with each other. Kyler Murray has looked not very, very good, especially in these last two games. We got beat today. We got a good old-fashioned beatdown. Absolutely obliterated today. And here's the thing. I'm already seeing in the comments. We don't have a wide receiver. We don't have an offensive line. We don't have this. But we've been saying that since the beginning of the season, haven't we not? You tell me, looking at the Texans roster, do they have an offensive lineman? Do they have wide receivers? Do they? Now, of course, because you're going to call them, they're 6-5 right now, right? The people that are on that roster has elevated themselves to become those people, right? The excuses are done for me. They truly, truly are. We did put ourselves in this position. I 100% agree. The roster that was put together coming into the season wasn't good, right? We had the Cardinals playing tough in the beginning of the season. But I think what the Arizona Cardinals now are living through is everybody else now starting to turn on that tape and say, we can't take this team lightly because they want to win. So now we're starting to see the rest of the NFL tuning into the Arizona Cardinals and saying, we're not going to allow this team to out-physical us. They got the heart. Oh, whoa, whoa. They got the heart. This Arizona Cardinal organization has the heart. They don't have the talent. That's the problem. We do not have the talent. But that's the thing. You expect your franchise quarterback to elevate everybody around them. That's what you expect from a $230 million guy, right? Am I wrong? That's what you expect, to elevate the people around him. We've seen Trey McBride look very, very good, and I'm actually very, very happy for Trey McBride because it's been a very long time since we had a dominant tight end, and I'm excited about his future. But Marquise Hollywood Brown, I'm not sold on Marquise Hollywood Brown, right? There was a report that came out here, or some rumors that came out that said that Marquise Hollywood Brown and the Cardinals are in good talks with each other. To be honest with you, Marquise Hollywood Brown he hasn't moved the needle for me. He hasn't. I'm not going to lie to you. He hasn't. Now, is it his fault that Steve Keim ended up trading a first-round pick for him, and we ended up seeing what A.J. Brown ended up going for, and A.J. Brown is doing double the work and doing double the production that Marquise Hollywood Brown is doing? Yeah, that's not Marquise Hollywood Brown's fault, and I'm fully aware of that. But that is the expectation for a first-round pick, is for you to come out here and excel. And he's not doing it. Marquise Hollywood Brown right now, to me, is mid. I'm not impressed with Marquise Hollywood Brown. Now, if we sign him, cool, okay, whatever. But it better not be to a number one wide receiver type of price tag. Let me tell you that right now. I get it. Kyler Murray and Marquise are guys. I understand it. That connection in 3 games has not come to fruition at all. This game was the best game, right? The best game for the Arizona Cardinals. And Marquise, for Kyler and Marquise. Most of that yardage came from garbage time. Let's call it like it is. Marquise Hollywood Brown ended up this game with 6 receptions, 88 yards. That most likely came from garbage time. Let's call it like it is. At one point, Kyren Williams had more yards. Their running back, the Rams running back, had more yards than the entire Arizona Cardinal offense. That's sad. That's real sad. That's really sad. Let me say that again for the people in the back. At one point in this game, Kyren Williams, the running back for the Rams, had more yards than the entire Arizona Cardinal offense. That's bad. That's bad. This is this person's solely's fault. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that this is solely this person's fault. This is an entirety of the offense that has looked very, very bad all season, right? But what you expect is your franchise quarterback to come in here and elevate that. That's what we're saying. We're not coming out here and saying, oh, this is completely fully based on Kyler Murray. This is Kyler Murray's fault. We're not saying that. Oh, no, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is this entirety of this offense has looked bad all season long, along with Drew Petzing and the entirety of the offense, the offensive line, everybody. They all look bad. That's what we're saying. But what you expect is your franchise quarterback to elevate. That's what I'm saying. You expect your franchise quarterback to elevate, and we're not seeing that. We're not seeing that from Kyler Murray. That's what we're saying. CJ Stroud is the example of what our franchise quarterback should be doing, right? Here's the funny thing, and let me know here if I'm wrong or if you agree with me. Let me know if you agree with me. The Arizona Cardinals chose to keep Kyler Murray in this game to up his stats. Do you agree with me there? The Arizona Cardinals had Kyler Murray in the last 2 or 3 drives when they were absolutely pointless. There was no reason for Kyler Murray to be in this game. We were getting absolutely dominated, right? Do you agree that the Arizona Cardinals chose to put him in there to up his stats? I agree. Because in the half or heading into the half, Kyler Murray was like, what, 76 yards, 86 yards for the half? It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. I think this coaching staff let Kyler Murray finish this game. Obviously, Kyler Murray wants to play. I'm pretty sure that has something to do with it. Kyler Murray says, I don't want to sit. And Jonathan Gannon's like, okay, do your thing, you know? But I think another thing that kind of went through their mind is they were trying to make his stats look a lot more cushier, a lot more better. Here's the thing that I really wanted to address. I don't think most Cardinal fans was expecting wins, right? I don't think Arizona Cardinal fans were expecting a win in this game. What I think most Cardinal fans were expecting was to keep this game close. That's what Cardinal fans were expecting, to keep this game close. Even if we lost by a field goal, even if we lost by a touchdown, heck, 10 points. I don't think Cardinal fans would be as upset. But you're telling me that the Arizona Cardinals got absolutely destroyed in State Farm Stadium, and it's okay because offensive line issues, wide receiver 1 issues, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever you want to say, right? That's what you're telling me. Expectation wasn't to win this game, ladies and gentlemen. Expectation was for the Arizona Cardinals to keep this game close. And we didn't do that at all. Let's go with the first super chat here of the day. What's up, Deus? Appreciate the contribution. He says this: we'll keep losing as long as all the delusional fans keep hoping and praying for a winning season with K1. Wake up. Should play T15 if we're losing. Well, here's the thing. This is the way I like to look at it. There's no point of sitting Kyler Murray for the rest of the games unless you're fully convinced that Kyler Murray is either going to be your guy or not going to be your guy, right? Because here's the elephant in the room. You can't sit Kyler Murray and expect to trade him for a value that you really want next year because his value is going to take a big hit. I get it. Some people want to see Clayton Tune. To me, I'm off the Clayton Tune train because I think it's very important for the Arizona Cardinals to continue to see what Kyler Murray has to do or if he can actually step up to the plate. But I do agree. The excuses are out are crazy right now. The excuses are crazy right now. I think we got to address it. We got to address the elephant in the room. If the Arizona Cardinals are sitting at the second overall spot in the NFL draft by the time this season ends, I'm not fully 100% convinced that the Arizona Cardinals should go Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm not fully convinced. There's a lot of holes on this roster. That's the truth. There is a lot of holes on this roster. Offensive line, defensive line, cornerback, everything is a hole for the Arizona Cardinals. That's true. But this was the chance for Kyler Murray to come out. This was right here. This was his chance. The hype was real. Kyler Murray came back in his first game. He was 1-0. People were celebrating that, right? You got to call it like it is. If Kyler Murray isn't elevating your guys, you really, really got to evaluate in this offseason. You really do. Next contribution here of the day, we got RV Davey saying we need to build our offensive line. Well, here's the thing. The Arizona Cardinals are going to have $50+ million in cap next year. I think, yeah, $50 to $60 million in cap next year, depending on if there's more moves made. We're going to have a lot of money in cap. So we can get an offensive lineman in free agency, maybe a cornerstone guard, maybe a cornerstone center, and then we could draft a guy, maybe in the second round. Because let's be honest, we can get an offensive lineman in the second round if need be, or we got 2 first-round picks. So I agree. I think the offensive line I think it does need to be built. I agree with you. But our needs doesn't only come from first round is what I'm trying to get across. We have 4 or 5 picks within the top 100. We can get offensive linemen. We can get starters in the offensive line still with a second rounder, a third round pick. We can still do it. So I don't want anybody to pigeonhole themselves and saying that we need to go offensive line in the first round because it's just what we need to do, right? We can get one in the second round. We truly can. Let's go to the next contribution. We got Ryan. What's up, Ryan? He says, hi, bro. Do you see the Ravens winning a Super Bowl this year? I'm not even trying to talk about the Ravens right now. I'm in my feelings right now, my guy. But I do like Lamar Jackson. I have nothing but good things to say about the Ravens. I don't know, to be honest with you, but let me be in my feelings right now. I'm not even thinking about the Ravens, but I appreciate the contribution, Ryan. I agree. Offensive line definitely needs to be addressed, 100%, right? Our center, Froholt, is doing his best. He ain't the future. Let's call it like it is. We're all hoping that Paris Johnson Jr. can continue what he was doing in the first half of the season. Now he's starting to struggle. I mean, he's still a rookie, right? You still need to have the guards. The offensive line is one full piece. It's one full piece. So I'm not out on Paris Johnson Jr. I still like him. I still think it's a really good pick. But we could still get an offensive lineman using our second first round or even a second round pick. So I don't want to pigeonhole ourselves. But yeah, the Cardinals got destroyed today. Is what it is. It is what it is. I'm so convinced. I'm going to be opening up the phone lines here within the next 10 minutes, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys do want to chime in, we're going to be opening up the phone lines here pretty soon because I want to get your guys' gauge and I want to hear what you guys have to say about this whole situation because let's call it like it is. The Cardinals are 2-10. There is at least a thought in Monty Austinfort's head Maybe not Jonathan Gannon, but there is at least a thought in Monty Austin-Fort's head that maybe we can go quarterback. Drake May, Caleb Williams. Guys, we're in the second overall spot in the NFL draft, and we just got obliterated at home again by the Rams. Since Kyler Murray's been with us, in 2019, the Cardinals are 2-9, including the playoff game against the Rams. Kyler Murray can't beat the Rams. He's beat them like once or twice. Kyler Murray can't beat the Rams. Or the Cardinals can't beat the Sean McVay-led Rams. I guess that's a better way of saying it. But if you can't have a quarterback that beats the Rams, then what's the heck the point? We need to figure out exactly what we can do. Exactly like the Texans did it. That's what we should be doing, right? I'm not saying draft the exact same guys. I'm not saying that. But that should be expectations. Because the Texans did it. They got a rookie quarterback, and they got, what, like 5 or 6 wins on the season? They're second in their division? Come on. But no, we got Cardinal fans saying, oh, it's okay. We're rebuilding. We're rebuilding. It's the same stuff over and over again. It's the same stuff over and over again. Now I'm starting to question, is Kyler Murray the guy? And that's not a position that we want to find ourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a position we want to find ourselves in. Kyler Murray was 27 of 45, 256 yards, 1 touchdown today. James Conner, I don't know why he would only carry the ball 6 times, right? That's not on Kyler. That's on this offense. Marquise, 6 receptions, 88 yards. But let's call it like it is. We got absolutely obliterated today. We got absolutely obliterated today. So let's do this. Let's open up the phone lines now. If you guys can do me a huge favor, put some popcorn emojis here in the comments below, because we know how it gets when we get the Bird Gang up here right now. But I do love all the opinions. I'm going to open up the phone lines now. I think it's time. My voice is starting to kind of go out on me. I could already feel it. So if this is your first time here, let me explain to you how this works. I'm going to be putting a link in the chat below. All you need to do is click on the link. Click on the link, come on in, but I'm going to be opening up the phone lines starting now, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's time. I think it's time. Whatever you want to say. You want to get a quarterback? You want to get an offensive lineman? You want to get a wide receiver? You tell me. How do you feel about the Arizona Cardinals' future heading forward? Because we got a big decision ahead of us. And it all surrounding, is Kyler Murray the guy? So let's get started here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and start off with my guy, U-Turds, here in the chat. All right, man, you are live on the Easy Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me, man. How are you feeling about, I guess, the Cardinals' future and Kyler Murray's future?
Man, I don't really want to think about it, because after this game, kind of looks scary with Kyler Murray. Because, Kyler Murray, he underthrew Hollywood a couple times, and something's wrong with him. You could tell when he came off the field, he started doing stuff with his hands, and they were talking about something like numb. And I don't know if Kyler's the guy. I love Kyler, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't I think they're giving him chances, but I don't think chances to succeed with the offensive line. But then again, Joe Burrow went to a Super Bowl. Sorry, not won a Super Bowl. Went to a Super Bowl with a horrible offensive line.
Yeah. Thank you.
And
Ding, ding, ding.
and for people to say oh, he doesn't have an offensive line. Well, Joe Burrow didn't have an offensive line, and and Kyler's more talented than Joe Burrow. Let's be honest. He can use his legs, and I just don't know. I think if Kyler loses out the rest of these games, or we get at least 1 or 2, and we get the top 3 picks, I think they will be considering a quarterback. And I'm just really mad about this game. It was just horrible. I'm disappointed. It's immeasurable. This
Yeah, I mean, as you should be, but I agree with you. I mean, Joe Burrow has elevated that organization to be relevant because I think people kind of forget what happened. But the Bengals weren't good. The Bengals aren't good,
no,
or they
they
weren't good
weren't good
before.
till Joe Burrow, and then they got Jamar Chase, which that's what the Cardinals did for Kyler. They got him Hollywood, but Hollywood can't create separation. That's what it is.
Yeah,
A number one wide receiver can create separation, and I think that I don't know if Arizona should spend a lot of money on Hollywood, like not wide receiver one, like
yeah,
wide receiver two money would be okay. But I think Arizona should go in the offseason, try to get like a Michael Pittman or T. Higgins if they can at a fair price, or draft a number one like Marvin Harrison.
yeah.
But it just depends how these last games go, because the draft's unpredictable like most of the time, so you never know.
Do you
But
think
it's just
Chicago
like,
will go quarterback?
huh?
Do
No,
you
I
think
think
Chicago?
I think if Justin Fields plays good these last games, I think they'll go Marvin Harrison Jr. number one. And people might think I'm like ridiculous for saying that,
Oh, I don't
but
think you are.
it could be because if they do want to move off of Justin Fields, they can get a QB at the fourth.
Yeah,
So I
yeah, no,
mean,
I agree.
that's all I gotta say, but it's just disappointing.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Like,
Later, dude. All right, let's keep the train moving here. Let's go to I think Ellis. Ellis, you were live on the Easy Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me, man. How are you feeling about the Cardinals' loss today?
Man, I'm sad. It's my birthday today, too.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Well, what's your take on this whole Kyler Murray situation, man? Go ahead. Let me know.
Man, uh I think Kyle Murray had a bad game. I think everyone had like a bad game. But I think we're gonna bounce back next week though.
You think we have a chance against the Steelers?
Yeah,
It's tough.
maybe, maybe, maybe not. You know.
Okay. What do you think right now? You think stick with Kyler or do we consider something in the draft? What are you thinking? Just right now.
Mm, well, if Kyler Murray lose every single game, I think get a QB. Yeah. Well, but
Oh,
if Kyler wins like 3 or 2 games, get get like a all line.
okay. All right. Appreciate you, Ellis. Thank you so very much, man. Have a great day. Later.
You
Happy
too.
birthday. Yeah, I agree, man. I think it does depend on these next 5 games, but we just seen this. We've seen this. Like this is, I mean, the next games for the Cardinals are the Steelers, the 49ers, which we know what they are. We have the Bears, the Eagles, and the Seahawks. We got 5 games left, and one of them's winnable. If we can't beat the Bears, I think nobody's safe at this very moment. But let's keep it rolling here. Let's go to Jack. Jack, you were live on the Easy Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me. How you feeling?
Okay, so my take right now is Kyler Murray's good, but people underrate him really bad. And he has no weapons. He has nothing to work with. We should draft MVS, maybe Olu. Should
Okay.
definitely get him weapons, see what he could do. If he keeps doing bad, trade him. If he does good, keep him.
Okay. So you're saying stick with Kyler. One more year is what you're saying?
Yeah, we should give him a
Okay.
chance with weapons.
With weapons. Okay. So you don't think that we had weapons before with him at all? Like
Yeah, we don't have
prior
weapons.
years.
Zach Ertz is washed. McBride is playing good, but he's still a second-year player. Hollywood Brown's not playing that good. Michael Wilson's injured.
Okay.
O-line's trash.
I mean, that's the truth. Yeah, that's good. That's the thing. Like D Hop, when we had D Hop, I'm talking about years prior. Like I'm not just talking about this year in general. I think we're kind of looking at the whole as a whole. He had weapons, I think. Maybe not this year, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to argue. But I appreciate you, man. Anything else you want to say, Jack?
He did have weapons this previous years,
Mm-hmm.
and he won Rookie of the Year. He was front runner for MVP. So I think he can play good in the system with weapons. He's
Okay.
been doing good so far with no
Okay.
weapon.
All right, Jack. Appreciate you, brother, man. Have a great night. Later.
Okay, bye.
All right, let's keep it going here. Let's go with Seth. You are live on the Easy Sports Fan here on YouTube. What's up, Seth?
I'm doing good. How about you, Mike?
Good, man. Can't complain. How you feeling about this whole situation? And what do you want to say?
Well, this orchestration is just all figured up, but I think we could stick with Kyler. Just I don't know, man, but I think we need a defensive lineman, maybe something like built on both sides. But these next 5 games, they're pretty crucial, but I don't know what else I could say. But other than that, we just gotta stick with them.
Okay. Let me ask you about this real quick, just to kind of make this call short. What do you think of Jonathan Gannon and what the coaching staff's doing so far? What are your thoughts on them?
Well, Jonathan Gannon, I know he makes like bad mistakes, like 3 penalties today on the defensive line, like he's backing us up. And then like Nick Rallis, like the defense couldn't even stop the run. Like Kaiser Williams, he just kept on going.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. I appreciate you. Thank you so very much, Seth. Have a great rest of your night, man. Later.
You too, bye.
Okay, yeah, let's take a look at the penalties here real quick. That's something I didn't talk about. I think we've had games that were a lot worse, but yes, I did see on the comments here that we had people saying that like at one point we had like 3 solid penalties that like put us down to like what first and 30. It was really ridiculous, but as a whole, the Cardinals had 5 penalties, 34 yards, and man, on paper that's not that bad, but like we've had other games that were pretty darn bad. But let's keep it moving here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go with Dan T. Dan T, you're live on the AC Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me, man. How are you feeling about the Cardinals loss?
Hey, what's up, man? I didn't expect for us to win this year. Just be competitive.
Yep.
You know me. I've argued with you on this app on Twitter about Kyler until I'm red in the face.
Yep.
I haven't been a fan of Kyler for a couple years now.
Yeah.
There's just things I see in his game. You know, I mean, a apparent inability to be able to read defenses pre-snap, and working under center. If you watch him working under center, I mean, he looks good on the naked bootlegs and such. But when he's dropping straight back from under the center, his footwork looks a little, I mean, and it's a completely different footwork, so that's going to take time. But I'm not sure that they really have a lot of faith in him running out of center for an entire game. If that makes sense to you.
No, it does make perfect sense.
So I just it's mechanically night and day. And if you want to run this pro style offense and James Conner getting 6 carries, it's ridiculous.
It is very
so I think they go quarterback this offseason to get the kind of quarterback. I'm not saying Kyler can't be successful elsewhere in the league, but if you want to run a pro style offense, I don't think Kyler's the guy. He's been in a spread offense his entire life, going back to high school.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to go with a Drake May or I'm never been on the Caleb Williams bandwagon. I think he cries. He's demanding ownership in the team and such like that. But I mean, a Drake May or a Bo Nix, somebody in that line, you've got to go with somebody that can learn to run a pro style offense.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think that a lot of people are kind of scratching their heads with the idea of like, okay, well, in the first drive, we had him under center and it worked. Why are we getting away from it? And then Jonathan Gannon just, ends up saying like, hey, we don't have enough time or we can't like develop but the thing is that like we're going 3 and out because the quarterback is not, doing the right thing. So I'm starting to kind of get on what you're saying now, Dan. I appreciate you, for sticking with the channel and with me. Let's see what happens this offseason, man.
I'm looking forward to it, if you go back and watch the game tape, just one more thing, and I'll let somebody else get on. But if you go back and you watch the film, I mean, like when he takes these deep passes, trying to hit the big plays look fantastic, but there's almost always somebody open over the middle that he could have hit for a first down,
right?
To keep the drive going. Yeah. So I mean, it's just if you can hit that big play, great. But if they're covered, hit that player over the middle. And I just sometimes I think if he has trouble seeing over the middle, it's another question.
And that's the thing too. I think a lot of people kind of like get offended with that. Oh, don't talk about. But I agree with you. There was one time that I remember very specifically, and I think it was Hollywood, but he threw it to triple coverage. And it was one of the last plays, so he was probably already frustrated. But like we've seen a lot of those, and it's frustrating.
Yeah, I agree with you, but yeah, no, I still listen to you every time, man. So I'll still stick with you, even though I don't agree with you all the time.
That's fine. All right, Dan, appreciate you, brother. Later, man.
Boss, later.
All right, let's keep it moving here. Thank you so very much, Dan. Let's go over with Deus. Deus, you were live on the AC Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me, man. How you feeling?
Usual.
Tune.
To the chagrin of some other people that don't like him. I mean, when people keep referring to the one game he started and played, and that's not really fair. I mean, Elway had worse losses than that, so I don't even want to hear that. That's casual speaking, not somebody who actually understands the game speaking.
That's fair.
But man, so far how the season went, I kind of got this cycle going in my mind, and it's playing out in the game. So I was watching the game for the first half, and at the end of the first half, they went for it on fourth down. They didn't get it, and then they ran the ball down their throat and scored a touchdown before the end of the half. And I was like, okay, let me guess. They're just going to run the ball down our throats all the time, every time. We're going to suffer massive penalties throughout the whole game, and we might score one or two garbage touchdowns because they don't even really care at that point if we score or not. And that's how it turned out, exactly how it turned out. And it's been like that, forever, this whole season practically, but getting worse now because, I mean, geez, man, the Rams beat us like a drum. Holy cow.
Yeah, it was bad.
I mean,
it could have been worse too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could have been worse, and I don't know. I'm just starting to get frustrated with some of these people. That's just me, though. I don't have a whole lot of tolerance or patience for people that are blinded. And
yeah,
I mean, granted, I can be blinded myself. I know what it's like to drink the Kool-Aid, but at the same time, it's just so frustrating when you just see people for years doing it.
Yeah.
And it's just like I get it. He's a member of the team. He's the face of our franchise. He's supposed to be our franchise quarterback. But at some point, when you look at the whole body work, like you were referring to before about the hole in the hole, it's like if he's had weapons in the past, his whole entire football career, he's been in a spread offense. I don't think he's ever really played under center. And for the past few years, I've been watching him more intently because somebody else brought it up, saying about how he's not seeing the middle. And that was when I was drinking the K1 Kool-Aid. I was like, no, And
right.
I go watch the game, because I have an NFL Plus, subscription and everything, and I just go back and watch the game over and over again. And I'm like, you know what? I put that guy down and I called him a bunch of names, and I felt really bad, because he was just dropping facts. He's dropping back bombs. I'm like, he's missing people wide open.
In the middle.
In the middle. He's throwing deep balls into double, triple coverage. And, I was like, I felt really bad. It's like, holy, I'm totally downing that Kool-Aid and defending somebody that wasn't really worth defending to me.
Yeah.
And I just kept watching it, and it just keeps happening over and over again. It's like the very definition of insanity. We keep drinking the Kool-Aid. We keep expecting to win, and we never win with this person. At some point, you got to just pack it up and say, okay, he's not who we thought he was.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And it's been happening for years too. I remember when we had Christian Kirk, and he's been opened up a lot in the middle. And it's just, we always went for the deep bomb. And I get it when it works. It's kind of one of those things where he's a genius if it works, right? But if it doesn't, under the magnifying glass. But it's always been like that with Kyler too. So it's kind of it's frustrating. It is. So any last thoughts?
When it's intoxicating when one of them does hit, when one of those big bombs hits right in stride and go into the end zone, it's like hitting a hole in one. But that's the thing, is you can't win on hole in ones. You got to be able to play consistently under par the whole game.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I get the Kool-Aid drinkers, but at the same time, don't be hating on the people that are just, speaking the truth or dropping back bombs, because, you're going to regret it later.
Yeah, there's a group of fans that have come on the Cardinal train because of Kyler Murray. And I think those are the people they're Kyler Murray fans. They're not Cardinal fans. So I think that's the big difference. And we're going to see it. If the Cardinals do decide to move off, we're going to see a shift. And I'm completely fine with it. I want this organization to win. That's my number one priority. I don't care who does it. I just want a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's me. I just want to win. I don't care how we do it, how we get to win, as long as we freaking win. That's all I care about. I don't, when I get jerseys now, the last player jersey I bought was K1.
Yeah.
Okay. And ever since then, the only jerseys I buy now are custom jerseys with my gamer tag or whatever on it. I don't even put a player's name on it. It's the team first, and then I put me next. I'm not committing myself to any one player. Yeah. So, but yeah.
All right, Dan.
All right.
Peace. Good night.
Hey,
all right, let's go with Ian. Ian, you were live on the Easy Sports Fan here on YouTube. What's up, man? Talk to me. How you feeling?
Yo, what up? You can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, man. So, I definitely think I'm still drinking the Kyler Kool-Aid, unfortunately. just because of really what is surrounding him, you know? I know this is something that we've been talking about for multiple years since Kyler's been in the league, right? He doesn't have an offensive line. He doesn't have weapons. We draft an offensive tackle, and we think that's going to just fix the offensive line. Paris Johnson is a rookie, and at that, he is getting flagged multiple times during the game, putting us behind the chains, and we're not able to, progress the ball down the field. We're constantly putting ourselves in these really horrible situations, putting Kyler in shotgun, just like, oh, go save us. We don't have any weapons. We have Greg Dortch, who's 5'7", Marquise Hollywood Brown, who's 5'9", but go make a play, go jump over this, this corner over here that's literally 5-6 inches taller than him, and it's not a winning recipe at all. Having James Conner run the ball 6 times, not relieving any pressure off of Kyler whatsoever. What is that? It's just these situations that you put a different quarterback in, and do you think that changes anything? No. That quarterback's only going to have 2 seconds to throw. That quarterback's only going to have 5'7" and 5'9" receivers to throw at. The things that we're putting around Kyler isn't enough to win football games. Our defense can't stop a nosebleed. I mean, this running back that's been injured for 4 weeks comes back and drops, almost 200 yards on us. It's like,
yeah, it's wild.
So, I mean, I get from everybody's perspective, yes, Kyler makes mistakes. Yes, Kyler isn't perfect, but I have a hard time feeling that it's all Kyler's fault, you know? So I just think it's a collective loss. I think, we definitely got beat up pretty good, but I'm not ready to completely write Kyler off. We still got, these next 5 games, and we'll see how he performs.
Okay, perfect. No, that's fair. I'm glad you said that the 5 games are, definitely very important, right? It's going to either be yay or nay by the time the 5 games are over. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, if he can't perform, the way we need him to, if we can't see the same scrambling ability, if we can't see the same, deep passing accuracy, if, him and Hollywood can't get on the same, page, then yeah, obviously we're going to have to look elsewhere.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. Okay. Appreciate it. Ian, thank you so very much, man. Have a great night.
You too, brother.
All right, let's go with 23K5. 23, take us home, man. How are you feeling?
Frustrating. It's tough to be a Cardinals fan when you lose every week.
Yeah.
Frustrating. So, like I said, the Texas game, I was not mad. Well, I was at the end. But at the end, I was proud of the team because we barely beat a team that was younger and had talent. Like Tank Dell, that guy's a stud. Like Michael Wilson, why is he getting hurt all the time?
Yeah.
Just why? Like, hey, CJ Stroud is playing out of the world right now. Like, K1, like, I want Kyle Murray to be successful and let's win a Super Bowl and go to the playoffs. Any other of these type quarterbacks, like Patrick Mahomes, like any others, like Jalen Hurts, like we need Kyle Murray to play that. I am not off that trend. I believe Kyle Murray could play good, and I think it will be good. So, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you're on the keep Kyler. Are you talking about let's wait for 5 games and then you'll make your decision, or are you saying keep Kyler until next year right now?
Well,
I know it's hard.
Let's say this, man. If Kyle Murray is still going to play elite, like, if he plays good, like against these 5 games, I think I'm still on that train. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you, 23. Thanks, man. Peace. All right. So I'm hearing kind of a mix, right? I'm hearing kind of a mix between Cardinal fans that are like, get rid of Kyler now. And then another ones are saying, we're still kind of on the train. And that's fine. I think as long as we all acknowledge that these next 5 games are really crucial, I think then we're all kind of in the same boat. Because there's nothing we can do about Kyler Murray right now, right? We can't trade Kyler Murray. We're not going to release Kyler Murray. We're not going to do anything with Kyler Murray right now. We're not. So the people out there saying, get rid of him, we can't. We got 5 games left. So I think as long as we are all under the understanding that Kyler Murray needs to play competitively, right? Here's the thing. I don't think Cardinal fans are really expecting the Cardinals to go 5-0. Like, this is the crazy part. We're not expecting Kyler Murray to be 5-0, right? But we're expecting Kyler Murray to put a better performance on the field. That's what we're expecting. We're expecting the games to be close, like we were with Josh Dobbs. That's what we're expecting. Now, if we win, that's the cherry on top of the ice cream, right? That's what it is. 5 games, but we have one of the most toughest stretches out there, right? The Steelers, the 49ers. Those two right there, in my mind, I'm thinking 0-2, right? Maybe I want to be positive here. I'll say 1-1. But let's be honest. You tell any NFL, other fan out there that's not a Cardinal fan, they will look at the Steelers and tell you that's a loss because that's not at home. And then the 49ers we know the 49ers, right? And then we got the Bears, the Eagles, and the Seahawks. Out of those 5 games, I only see one winnable game there, and that's against the Chicago Bears. And if we can't beat the Chicago Bears, y'all, we might just be getting in front of this whole Kyler Murray talk. Because I know there's a group of fans that do not want Kyler Murray to be our quarterback. And that's fine, right? I'm now starting to see why people do not like Kyler Murray. I'm now starting to see it. But he's got 5 games to prove it. 5 games to prove it. Can he come up here and ring the bell? Can he come out here and show the rest of the Cardinals organization that he's the guy? Because let's call it like it is. Monty Austinford and the organization is going to be the ones making the decision, not us, right? The Cardinals organization is going to be the one making this decision moving forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be closing up shop here, and I absolutely do appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you guys haven't already, smack the like button. Definitely do me that huge favor. Smack the like button. Also, make sure you check out my sponsors. Obviously, we got Underdog Fantasy. If you use promo code AZSF today, you can get your deposit matched up to $100 for your initial deposit, as well as FOCO. You want to get any merchandise for the Cardinals, sunglasses, shorts, shirts. Christmas is coming. Right now, we do got a promo code in the description below. Check out FOCO if you do want to get some Cardinal merch. If you don't, no worries. I completely understand. So appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Thank you so very much. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you guys. Have a great rest of your day as always, and go Cards.